and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Hellenberger,
Here.
Payne,
Here.
Huffman,
Here.
Earl,
Here.
Sisson,
Here.
Zumal,
Here.
Hughes,
Here.
Fleming.
Here.
Welcome, we have a quorum. First item on the agenda is a very earned recognition of service of Sandy Bishop to the city of Litchfield, which we're going to install at her place of business. And I'll read it. This building is dedicated in gratitude and loving memory of Sandra Sandy K. Bishop, November 10th, 1947 to November 19th, 2023. Her giving spirit lives on here through her exemplary service and tireless dedication to the city of Litchfield at Lake Lou Yeager, never to be forgotten. And we will be installing this tomorrow at what?
On Saturday.
On Saturday, okay. At what time?
2 p.m. I believe.
Yes.
Saturday at 2 p.m. at Marina 1. Everyone's invited to come out in honor of Sandy and say a few words if you would like.
Okay. Yeah. Family here? Come up, somebody accept the plaque, Carrie? Accept this and then bring it with you so we can install it. And will give us an opportunity. Give us an opportunity to have a picture taken.
Okay, so she wouldn't want anybody to be left out. Can we just do a huge group picture?
Of course. Yes, that's what I
She
want.
would never want anybody to be left out.
Everybody.
Can we get everybody in the hall and just do a huge group picture?
Absolutely.
She would never want anyone to be left out.
Okay. Come on in.
All you guys. She would want all you guys to.
That'll be a challenge.
And, hey, Carolyn. Come in. You get in here because you. Yeah.
It's all nice in the back.
Just sit down in the front there. Stand up on that chair. Go back up there.
Surprised what I can do with.
Yeah, we got paramedics here.
Did the flash go off?
I did not.
Take one so I can send it to Carrie.
Here, I can try to get one of everybody.
Jump up there.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Another one, 1, 2, 3. Perfect, I think we got everybody.
Here, let me do this.
There
we go, okay. Who was holding?
Just sat and I stared. Done nothing.
Yeah.
Saturday at 2 p.m. at Marina 1.
Who was with the door? Who was holding the back?
Okay. Tell Tommy I said congratulations. Look how he smelled it.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the recognition of Sergeant Tommy Melchett for his exemplary service. Chief?
All right. Once again, just thank you for the opportunity for us to come to the meeting and publicly recognize our officers when they accomplish something above and beyond their normal patrol duties. Tonight, we would like to recognize Sergeant Tommy Melchert for not only a specific case, but this award with the National Police Hall of Fame is in recognition of his criminal investigative abilities. Sergeant Melchert spent many years in the South Central Illinois Drug Task Force conducting covert narcotics investigations. He brought that experience back to the street, working night patrol, and now into the day shift. There are many types of investigations in our duties. There are covert, where you're doing undercover work. There's the basic investigative techniques, where you're doing interviews, search warrants, and all of those things. Once you have accomplished all of them in a career, you can ball up an investigation really well and do what I think is probably the most effective type of investigation, which is a street investigation, where you're conducting all of these techniques while still executing your patrol duties. Specifically, in this case, we responded to the report of a stolen firearm that was suspected to have been stolen by a juvenile within the city of Litchfield. And he began questioning multiple individuals in regards to a stolen firearm. And continued this for several days, continuing his focus on this investigation while also executing the patrol duties of his everyday efforts. That led to multiple homes and the recovery of a firearm that was not the stolen firearm from a juvenile, which furthered his investigation into other individuals in another residence, executing a search of the home based upon his interview with the subject, and recovered the stolen firearm and an additional firearm that was illegally obtained through what I only assume to be several narcotics transactions and trades. Taking 3 firearms off the streets of Litchfield that makes each and every one of us, especially our officers, much safer in his efforts. Also, I've always said this, in that when our administration or the city recognizes someone for an effort, there's a pretty big level of pride in those things, but when your peers recognize your efforts, I think that's the highest compliment that you can receive in any profession. And this came to us, we were fully aware of the efforts that were conducted in this investigation, but it came from another sergeant, a nomination form, who saw that in his peers, and I think that you should take great pride in that. We're very thankful for your continued efforts, for what you have done for the police department, what you will do in the future, and we are thankful for the skill set that you have brought with you that you are now passing on to the next generation. So congratulations. PD photographer.
Yeah, not paid.
I feel like this is better.
Congratulations, Tommy. to continue this theme tonight, it is with great pride that I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Litchfield Fire Department on the occasion of their 150th anniversary. This milestone reflects not only a remarkable legacy of service and dedication, but also a profound commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of our community. On October 26th, over 500 residents came together to celebrate this significant achievement during an open house. The turnout in just a 2-hour window is a testament to the strong bond between our fire department and the community it serves. I want to acknowledge the hard work and preparation put forth by our firefighters and staff to make this event a success. Your unwavering bravery and dedication do not go unnoticed. Thank you for your service and for fostering a spirit of community engagement through events like this. As we look forward to the next 150 years, let us continue to support and appreciate the vital role of that our fire department plays in keeping Litchfield safe. Together we can ensure that this legacy of excellence carries on for generations to come. Congratulations once again to the Litchfield Fire Department on this momentous occasion. You guys want to come on in?
Sorry?
Come on in for a picture.
We need a picture, come on.
Yeah. John, where do you want them?
With you, that works.
Great. Okay.
You read all the pretty words.
If
so
you
what
take
the heck.
20 pounds off, I'm in.
Mission impossible. That works.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we're gonna move on to other business. I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from the October 17, 2024 meeting. Alderman Barrow. Second, who? Alderman Kellenberger, thank you. Any additions or corrections? Roll call, please.
Sisson. Aye. Zumal. Aye. Hughes, I'm sorry. Hughes.
Aye.
Fleming.
Aye.
Gerald.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Motion passes. No one like a motion?
I thought we were supposed to go out on.
I think we just go one, all of them, and then move to the next one.
Oh, okay, I thought I was supposed to mix them up, I didn't.
Did you
I
miss?
think we missed Cassie that round.
Oh, sorry, Cassie.
Hey,
Hey.
It's still
Well,
been
that was
passed
too easy.
when I
I don't
announced
want to do that.
it. Now I'd like a motion to approve the expenditure report and payroll report for the current period.
I'll make a motion.
Alderman Hoffman just did that, you can second if you'd like, Alderman Hughes. Thank you very much. Any additions or corrections to the bills? Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Gerald.
Aye.
Zumal.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Payne.
Aye.
Fleming.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
You get everybody that time?
Yep.
That motion passes. Okay, now the first item on new business, the discussion, I'm gonna bring you up to date on the animal control issue. Our last mayor's meeting, we had, this has been a moving target. Every time we have a mayor's meeting, we think we have a deal made, and everybody understands. But it's always been a couple of questions that never get answered at the next meeting. And we started out at $1.50 per capita and thought we had a deal. At that point, we said, well, let's go ahead and go to $2 per capita and get rid of the extra fees for the individual pickup. Well, that was supposed to come back to us with some decision. It did not do that. The next meeting, we had $2 per capita plus $150 per pickup during normal hours, and $250 per pickup after hours, holidays, weekends, and that kind of thing. In my way of thinking, most animals are running free after hours, because people come home and let their animals out, whatever. And so we're looking at probably $250 every time they pick up a dog in town. Next question was, so plus it's gone up to 250 per capita at the last meeting now. So every time we think we got a deal, it changes at the next meeting. So the my question at this last meeting was, okay, we call you and you come over to attempt to pick up an animal. It's 15 to 20 minutes before you get here. We don't have the manpower, the equipment, the trained people to corral that animal for 15 to 20 minutes. What happens if you don't pick that animal up? Do we get charged $250? Does it grow into a $1,000 dog at some point? They couldn't answer that. They were supposed to get back to us. Haven't done that yet. There was also an issue with taxpayers that are paying for this service, and very little of the responsibility comes back on the pet owner. So we asked if we have leash laws in our communities, can you tell that person when they come over there to pick up that dog that they want a receipt of or show a tag from your community before we release your dog to you? And most of the mayors decided that at that point we would have a uniform fee, whether it be $25 or $50 for the violation, before they could pick up their dog for $50. So, and then the response was, well, we get people now that come over to pick up their dog and say they don't have the money and they don't get paid for another week, and we can't keep that dog another week, it costs us money. So basically there's no real responsibility to the derelict pet owner. So we're trying to get those answers, and I have a meeting scheduled with the other two larger community mayors, as well as the county board chairman next week. And we're gonna see if we get those answers before we agree to the situation. At that point, I'll bring it to you. If you're not happy with the per capita, you're not happy with the other amounts on there. They also, at the last meeting, gave us what they called a work in progress, which is a policy and procedure manual. And I'm not comfortable signing a contract with something that's still a work in progress. I don't know if you agree to that. Okay. And as far as the fiscal impact, it could be anywhere from the per capita. It depends on the number of dogs they pick up and when they pick them up. So, and that I guess we'll have to live with. I still insist that the state statute says the county is responsible, and the communities can enhance that if they want, but the county is ultimately responsible. We're beyond that at this point, and I think every community is going to agree to participate monetarily, but I think some questions need to be answered first. So I hope to have some more information at the next meeting. Any questions? Yes?
How many animals do we have registered in Litchfield right now?
I don't know.
And you do that through city clerk's office?
Yes.
What is that fee? Cause I'm delinquent, I have a dog, I know I don't have it registered here in town.
$4 for a tag.
But it's not.
So do you have to show like your rabies tag from the vet or anything like that?
It's really nothing, you pay $4, and they're
Do you
told,
fingerprint him or anything like that?
they told it's not for, you can bring your dog and I'll give him treats. No, I'm told that same tag can work for any dog, like for as many dogs, if your dog passes away, you can get another one, and I don't think it's a very good system.
Probably not, but when they leave the animal control center, they're microchipped and they have their rabies shots, but we still don't know anything about them, you know. Chief, tell me how you're gonna corral a dog for 20 minutes to a half hour.
Okay.
I know something needs to be done, but, you know, and your officer can be called away during that time too.
So, So we don't generally utilize our own dog registration, it hasn't been used for many, many years. We started looking into these things just historically. I think our animal control officer that was a full-time position went away in 2010. Then we started we started per service fee with the county that kind of built up. Problem was they couldn't staff their own facility. So, we had a system to call animal control that ended with the grandparent of one of the, animal control officers. And, you don't like calling somebody's grandma at 2 or 3 in the morning when you have an animal. We were hauling animals, and, at the point this became a bit contentious was when I was hauling an animal to animal control, and there were 2 officers on, I was one of those officers. And our other officer got in a foot pursuit from Walmart all the way across 4-lane 66 through ditches, and I was more than halfway to Hillsborough hauling a dog to put into a cage. We were the only police department that I spoke to that hauled animals, that held animals, that put them in squad cars, only one in the area. But at the point that it became an officer safety issue for us to move an animal over a human being, that's where it became a problem for us specifically. And we were kind of being overutilized. Also, historically, here's how that would work. I would catch a dog, I would bring it here, see if someone could come get it. If they could not come get it, or if it was after hours, I had a key to the animal control facility. I would drive the dog to Hillsborough, I would fill out the City of Litchfield impoundment form, I would fill out the Montgomery County impoundment form, I would put the animal in, give it some food, give it some water, lock it into the cage, and then drive back, and then I, the City of Litchfield, would get a bill for my services. So, that sucked.
Well, and that's my point, Chief. The irresponsible dog owner needs to have more accountability.
And as we spoke on this for the last several years at this point, trying to work this thing out, one, the per capita fee would be upwards of 3 times more money than we have ever given the county historically for any of these services. So I think it's incredibly fair for us to then pay one fee and have them answer their own phones. The per service fee comes with an authorization through the police department. Whether or not a dog can be picked up, that puts that responsibility on us, the City of Litchfield, as to whether or not they get called out. It also moves that blame if they cannot come from them to us. That's a problem, that makes me a bad guy again. So, we talked about this registration fee. I think that if you move forward, the registration fee and the enforcement of it would be a way to create a very small amount of revenue. We could then issue a tag, that animal would have a tag with its address on it. We could write a ticket, we could set up a pay or appear system or something along the lines so that dog never even goes to Hillsborough. But you're talking about changing a really large mechanism that has been basically broken for at least 5 years, or well, probably before that. We had an animal control person, did it full time, drove the dogs over there, did the fees, did the fines, did the tickets. And now we don't, and we don't really get much of a response when we were. Now, I will say, we went through different generations of animal control, staff over at the county, and that's kind of been an ebb and flow. Some were kind of close here, they were quick response and all those things, but at this point, if you call the county, they just say we don't have a contract unless it's an animal bite or an animal welfare case, which they're required by law to handle.
And the way that they say that we can control the costs is that we're the only ones that can call animal control. A citizen cannot. So they would have to call 911, and 911 would have to get a hold of one of our officers, whoever you designate at that time of day, whether it be you or one of your officers on duty, to decide if you want animal control to come. So we're, the clock's ticking, but at least we don't have somebody coming because somebody's little pooch is walking down the street.
And at the point we authorize that phone call, it's $250.
Yes. Yeah, and that's been the argument.
Well,
And
I think my thing is, how long has this been going on? I guess is the question I have.
as I said, 2010.
2010, so, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying and what you're fighting for. I just, at some point, there's gotta be, all these mayors and people and councils need to get together and get something, because right now there's nothing. And we have a lot of animals that a lot of people care about, and
Well, they won't pick up the feral cat either.
Yeah.
That's our biggest problem.
They won't do anything for cats, right?
No.
No.
And they're everywhere.
You'd have an open season.
You wanna say anything, Mel?
When it comes to,
Pardon?
You wanna say anything to the county board?
like, good dog owner
If they don't want
doesn't realize that they have to register their dogs. Most of the dogs that are getting picked up are delinquent dog owners. How are we gonna make them comply with registration? It's likely they're just not going to.
Well, likely they're either gonna go try to pick up their dog, which they'll have to, you know, all they have to do is say, I can't pay, and they're gonna get their dog, I guess. Or they will pay and get their dog back. But I would rather that we know, that they have to register, as the chief suggests, that some way they have to register before they can just walk away with the dog, who may or may not be a problem again.
And the county, I don't think would be willing to be the registration system for us, but what I would
No.
recommend is getting a list from the county of property owners and their addresses who have had a dog go to animal control. If we look in our system, we see they're not registered, I think we send them a 10-day notice to register, and then we would have to be willing to assess ordinance violation fines at that point. And I think we would need to agree at this level that we would be willing to do that in order for the system to work at all.
Also, for some historic information, animals were previously registered through the county through rabies tags. Get a rabies tag, they would keep a list, but I can tell you that the list was not updated very, very often, because we used to get the copies of that list, and, they were inaccurate. Also, when you put a tag in a dog, you may not know this, but when you boop it, and it says you have a tag, it goes to lostpet.com, and they call you, and they say, you have a dog, and then they say, I will call the owner. Now, they could have told me the owner lives in 120 East Ryder, and I could go get the owner, but they won't tell you that. So you are at the mercy of an email notification that a phone call has been sent to an unknown owner of the animal, and then you await the call from the unknown owner of the animal, as long as they have updated their phone number, email address, or physical address with lostpet.com. These are, everyone, this has not been easy, and I spent many, many moons on midnights driving dogs around. I've had one sit on my lap in a police car, and it's not an effective way to do this stuff. So it's a bigger fix than what may appear on the outward vision of
Have
this.
any of the other cities signed contracts on this?
Yeah, but most of them don't have much population, and they signed when it was $1.50. And that contract was for 3 years, which will expire in a year or two. But, they also don't have a lot of occasions to call.
What was the reason why we got rid of the animal control officer or whatever? It's too expensive, or?
I guess, I wasn't involved.
Do you know anything about that?
Back years.
We lost a ton of money. In 2008, the economy crashed. 2010, it hit the city of Litchfield. We eliminated, I think, 11 positions. That's not, that was just the product of the economy at the time. Also, just so everyone there's a lot of people weren't even here during that period of time. 9 of those positions came from the Litchfield Police Department. That's when dispatch left. That's when animal control left. That's when our ordinance officer left. All of those duties landed in someone in a police uniform.
Is there a way to contract with Macomb County Animal Control, since Montgomery County won't cooperate?
That was suggested to the county board, and no action was taken.
But could Litchfield do that? Is that something that we could at least investigate?
Maybe.
They're very good in Macomb County about getting their animals and picking them up and taking them to the shelter.
I'll do that.
It couldn't hurt to ask if they'd be interested.
Yeah, I made that suggestion to the county board chairman. That I'll tell you, when I did that, it was the previous county board chairman, so. And along with that, there have been several committees assigned from the county board on their end to come up with all these ideas, and nobody seems to get down to brass tacks, so.
Can't hurt to let them know we're shopping around to see what else we can do.
Well, they'd rather not come over here anyway.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know if we have time for this, but, Mr. Bill Bergen's here, he's on the county board. I don't know if you have any perspective from the county's side of things?
Well, I made a couple notes. Don't mind me getting up talking.
Stand up, Bill.
We know that this contract, or this, incident has been a progress in motion for, what'd you say, since 2010? I've been on the committee a long time trying to battle this, and it just always constantly going back and forth. You know, we come up with a proposal, and it goes back to, so on the other side makes a proposal, yada, yada, yada. You know, we can go through that for years of that. And then the legal matter, what Steve mentioned about, who's responsible for all the animals. Well, our state's attorney said that we aren't responsible for animal bites and rabies, and the farm thing. They said that's all we're responsible for. Anything else is up to the city. Our state's attorney said that actually shouldn't even come in another cities without a contract, because we're not authorized to do that per se, because legally we're supposed to do one thing, but not the other, so we're supposed to have contracts.
Well, Bill, that's an interpretation of that statute. That statute
But
says.
I'm saying on my side, yes.
Yeah, I know, but that statute mandates that the county operates animal control. It also allows municipalities, it does not mandate municipalities, it allows them to add to whatever enforcement there is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why, when it was stated that, well, you already have your leash law, so we're not gonna service you. We did away with our leash law. Now we just recently reinstated, because we thought we were gonna have a deal here. So, that's an interpretation of that statute that I don't agree with.
I know, we've battled that.
Yeah, we've
all
talked
the way.
about it.
It's been a major battle on that part.
So from my understanding of the statute is the county is required for a bite to a human or, an attack, something like that would be required to respond. Anything outside of that, the county would not be unless we came to an agreement. Has something been discussed? It sounds like on the city's end, the crux of the issue is the additional call-out fees. Has a per capita amount been discussed, maybe a flat rate, like we take an average of the number of call-outs we think we have, come up with a flat per capita rate that we
I
could?
believe that's in the contract, capital rates, isn't it?
I think there's a per capita
There's
and
an
then a call-out.
There's an estimate of experience on there as to what it might cost us, but it's an open contract.
Can you base it on previous years? Like, we've had this many call-outs in the last
That's
so
what I'm
many
thinking,
years,
so that we eliminate us being the middle person, you know, Chief Riker, myself, or the mayor, currently, you know, the citizen would call into dispatch, they would contact Chief Riker, if he wasn't available, he'd pass it on to one of us, we could authorize the call, maybe so that citizens could have that direct amount if we found a flat fee. If we did a flat per capita fee, we could look at some data, historical data, see how many calls we think we'd have and bundle that in, understanding that if the amount way over exceeded or under exceeded, we could renegotiate within a year, or even maybe have a 6-month clause to do some reconfiguration.
At the last meeting, we got an experience chart for each community, and they said Litchfield had 16 call-outs. That would amount at $250 per capita and $250 pickup to over $20,000 for 16 animals, who may or may not be picked up again. This is what I'm struggling with.
I forget a figure like that, that's only 1 month figure, isn't it?
No, that's for the year. 16 for Litchfield.
I don't know the figure, I'm, you know, that's one thing I didn't know for argument, I think that's right. But I just know that, the bottom line, what I'm trying to say, is that this has been going on so long, we've got a new committee chairman, and we worked through it with our committee, came up with the final decision on the contract, we presented it to the county board, the board passed it and say, this is the way our contract is gonna read. There wasn't any ifs, ands, and buts about negotiating it. It was just that we said, here's a contract, you guys accept it or don't accept it.
Well, let me ask you one of the questions that we haven't gotten answered yet. if you get a call over here at 6 PM at night, and you come over and the dog can't be found, do we get a $250 charge?
I can't answer that.
That's
I
the
don't know
answer
for
we
sure.
got a couple weeks ago.
Well,
Does the county board, the contract that the county board passed, I'm sure it outlines all of that, maybe, if you were able to forward that to us, Mike,
Well,
you
Steve should
could
have.
review it and give us a breakdown of it, and then we could,
don't you have a copy of it, Steve?
We have a copy of the per incident and the per capita, and it's blank, you have to fill
They
it
should have
in.
sent you a full contract, because I say, we're not
We've asked
discussing
for
our
it.
side anymore.
Nobody has the latest contract.
I say,
You're
I'm not,
trying
I might
to
think that sounds
balance,
harsh.
you're trying to balance a county budget, we're trying to balance ours.
No, that's not even part of it, I just wanna get this over with. You
Yeah.
know, I don't care less about the budget, I wanna get this over with.
Why is the county being so hardball about it?
Because their budget is.
Why is this whole thing so hard? I'm sorry.
Me.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My hearing not great either, right?
Why is the county being so hardball about
It's
this?
just been going on so long, it's just been going on so long, and finally, it seems like that we would come up with something we thought was proper, we sent it over to the mayor's meeting, and it was other groups besides that, and they said, no, we want this changed. We changed this, and something else would be needed to change, and it just constantly happened that way. So finally, as I said, we got our new chairman of the board in, we sat there, he did some more negotiating, or our chairman did, and the committee said, okay, that looks good, we're gonna settle with this. It's not hardball per se, all we did was pass a contract that, we thought was right, and you guys take it up, they don't like it, reject it, you know, just, that's all I'm saying, we did pass a contract.
I
with
guess
you
what
guys.
it would boil down to is, I'd love to, I know I've been here a year, so definitely not while, you know, the full picture of this, but, I would love to maybe us review, if the county board did pass the contract, us review it, have our city attorney take a look, and then the question would be, is it a take it or leave it, or is there room for concerns or negotiation, just so that we know on our end maybe how to proceed?
No, I can't say, I'm just a member, I'm not a chairman of the board, I can't tell you that.
Okay.
But my question is for Mike, because this has been going on since 2010. It's a situation where we can't really find an answer. Let's say we set another deadline and we don't meet it. And the issue is the statute. One interprets it this way, one interprets it this way. Well, there's a legal way to determine who's correct with the statute, correct? What comes in, we have a state's attorney saying this, and we have the mayor's saying this. So what options do we have if we reach a deadline once again and we don't do anything? What legal options do we have when it comes to who's right about the statute?
Off the cuff, I would say somebody could draft something and file something and get some sort of a declaratory judgment from a judge. But I need to research it a little bit more.
And we have not, I don't think, formally asked Mike to review.
I've never
this
seen the
one,
contract,
so-
this is the first I'm hearing about any of this, sorry it's taken so long.
I haven't seen the final.
Yeah, I mean, there's
the
gotta
latest
be a way
contract
to,
either.
I would like
Good
maybe
determination.
for, to get the contract into Mike's hands, have him review it, review the statute, and then. we could go from there.
I can send it to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
What is the status with the policy and procedures manual? Cause we got what said was a draft, and it's in process yet.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's part of the contract, you know, we need to know the policies and procedures.
Okay. Which part about it, for us, the time factors for picking it up, or the?
I just said, told the council that I would try to have a resolution by the first of the year. I think that's what you're referring to, Jake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
but, you know, that's.
And I'll check on that too, to see, and if we should have it, so I just get that sent over to you tomorrow. That's also,
I think Chris
Sounds good.
Daniels may have
if I got it.
sent me a draft at, one point, but yeah, definitely look at it and go from there.
I've seen nothing with hard numbers on it, I've seen blank, you know, fill in the blank as to, what the charges would be.
I'll call him in the morning and
Yeah,
send it to you, okay?
yeah, and I did call the county to get every piece of latest literature last Friday, and today's Thursday, so I haven't gotten it.
And it should have been in your hand a long time ago.
Well, and, you know, I'm sure they're busy, but I'm trying to stay on top of it too, so. All right, thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Any other questions or comments about this subject before we move on?
I got one. What happens if it's just a derelict dog? I mean, it's nobody's pet, it's just a dog that somebody dropped off, what happens to that dog?
Well, it goes to the county until somebody comes for it, and at some point, the county was trying to move up their, euthanasia dates, and they filled their boardroom, so,
And I think
don't
So
know.
the county's a kill shelter then? Yes.
At some point.
Yeah, 6
6
months.
So I think too, you know, to speculate what would occur in certain instances, the contract should detail, what instances it would cover and what it wouldn't. So I think maybe if we can read through it, kind of look what's being offered.
I mean, if nobody collects the dog, it's a dog, somebody just let it go, you know, 6 months prior, this ran loose all over town, the city pays that bill, because nobody's going to pay it, nobody's gonna step up and claim that dog.
Whether they claim it or not, we pay the bill.
Then the city turns around and bills the dog owner if the person actually picks the dog up from this county?
That's what several of us, the mayor of Raymond, the mayor of Hillsborough, and myself are concerned with. That there's no responsibility put on the pet owner with this system.
That existed, so we would ticket the animal owner and go to the county. Now, before many of us were here, well, I was, 'cause I've been here forever. We asked the county to collect our fees. Potentially, we asked them to collect them in a balance of what was owed, and they said no.
We asked them that too, and they refused.
Like, here's my opinion. You own an animal, that animal gets out, that is your fault. That's your problem, you pay the fine, we don't owe anything. If anybody, they owe us a service for me driving a dirty dog around in my car for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, as you move into this, here's a suggestion. Talk to the practitioners of who are going to have to affect all of these things. I know we have dog problem, I am fully aware of it, we've had dog bites, but animal control will not prevent a dog bite. They're not going to jump out of a tree and grab a dog en route to a bite. So those things are going to happen, you're going to have to punish that after the action, there's not a way to intercede. Now, I will say, you have a ticket, you have a requirement for registration, that dog gets out, it costs them money, then they maybe secure their own facility a little bit better. So these discussions have been going on, they've stalled, they've had more, they've come back. I've been to some of these mayoral meetings years ago, at this point a few years ago. So just maybe inject the people that are going to handle these things. We're hearing from one side of this thing, but we ultimately historically created an insane officer safety issue with how we handle these things. And I don't wanna get an officer killed because I have a dog to go to Hillsborough. So my only caution is I don't wanna get us to own this business again like we did for many, many years.
From a policy standpoint, I would agree. I don't think the city will likely have interest in pursuing our own options for animal control, for officer safety, for liability. We would lose a lot of money on it. So finding a resolution with the county would definitely be the best option for everybody.
And I'll contact Macomb County.
And maybe ask them what their interpretation of the law is and how they work with that. What's their role versus the.
Well, many communities participate with their counties, and I'm past arguing that, I just want some answer to
Right.
a fair billing rather than
But if you can say,
$1,000 an animal.
this county does this and this county's the same way, then maybe that's a little more leverage for us to delineate the role.
We went through that
Okay.
already. Of course, the county presented, what Springfield pays and Taylorville pays, and they pay a lot.
Well, we're not
They did-
Springfield or Taylor.
Well, there you go, yeah. Okay, well, let's move on.
Okay.
Alderwoman Huffman.
I make a motion motion to approve a resolution approving a design engineering agreement with Milano and Zolo Engineering for an amount not to exceed $48,000 and a construction engineering material testing agreement for an amount not to exceed $30,000 for the expansion of the Bicentennial Campground.
Thank you. Can I get a second? Alderman Garrell seconds. Any discussion?
This is all grant funded,
We got,
majority.
we
It's a
got,
match grant. I believe it's a 50-50 match.
good deal. Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Lemming.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
And Carol. Did I get Carol? Did I miss? I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Motion passes. Alderman Garrell.
I make a motion to accept a bid for a Ford F-150 pickup truck from Victory Lane Ford for the amount not to exceed $51,229.
Thank you. Can I get a second? Alderwoman Huffman seconds.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Wait,
If you're ready, I'm sorry.
discussion first.
Glad it's local.
Heather, is this for the lake?
Glad it's local.
No, it's right.
Said I'm glad it's for Victory Lane.
Oh, we're gonna put Bill on a brand new truck. Good deal. Easier to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep in mind that if we move forward with a campground host, that we'll have a extra truck out at the lake, so. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Lemming.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Sisson.
Motion passes. Item number 4, we're gonna pull from the agenda tonight and bring it back to you at the next meeting after we review it a little more. Moving on to number 5, Jake.
I'll make a motion to approve a compressed air preventative maintenance proposal with Power Supply Industries to service the newly installed membrane air compressors at the water treatment facility.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Alderman Payne seconds. Any discussion?
Sounds like fun to me.
A lot cheaper than the old one.
Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Abstain.
Huffman.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Lemming.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Motion passes. Alderman Kellenberger.
Make a motion to approve an ordinance approving the authorizing the mayor to execute emergency roof grant agreement with Eric and Megan Heim for 606 North State Street and other actions related thereto.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Alderman Zumwalt seconds. Any discussion? Please don't go 4-4 or I'd have to abstain and nothing happens. Roll call, please.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Lemming.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Sisson.
Motion passes. Alderman Kellenberger.
Make a motion to approve a bid from 3D Excavating to install 3,440 feet of 4-inch electric conduit at the West Side Industrial Park for an amount not to exceed $63,000.
Thank you. Can I get a second? Alderman Gerald seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Kane. Lemming.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now I ask for a motion to enter into executive session as allowed under the Illinois Open Meetings Act, found in Chapter 5 of the Illinois About Statutes, Section 120, for litigation, for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, etc., the selection of a person to fill a public office, and discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, and the purchase or lease of real property for the use of public body. Can I have that motion, please?
I'll make that.
Alderman Zumwalt.
Second.
Alderman Kellenberger, thank you. Roll call, please.
Sisson.